repeating. I hope now we are already talking about Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir Nirman. So definitely, very curious to know, how it's going to be, in line with how it's different. So we are really curious about it. And then next topic is from billion hearts through million hands, a massive awareness Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir Nirman Abhiyan, and the role of Dhanush will be explained by Sri Jason Murthy Garu. And before he takes us through that, let me give a bit introduction about him. And Sri Jason Murthy Garu is a chairman and MD of Dhanush Infotech, a gold medalist, graduate in chemical engineering, postgraduate in business management, and he has founded Dhanush Infotech, global ICT products and services organization providing ICT services to Fortune 100 customers in various verticals like telecom, healthcare, education, e-governance, aerospace and consulting, and with offices spread in 8 countries and operations in 35 countries in a headcount of 3,000 consultants. And today we are conducting a session on Samvad, which is a solution from Dhanush Infotech, and is complete virtual communication with high quality video meetings, and features are single user multiple sessions, and payment gateway integration and selective screen sharing with selective participants, and broadcasting to external apps, whiteboard during conference, and many more. And thanks to DSN Murthy Garu and Sri Ramchandra Garu and Ravishankar Chavali Garu and team for supporting Shishak Yu Bharat in physical and virtual meetings. And when it comes to Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir Nirman Abhiyan, is a wonderful opportunity for all devotees to feel they're part of that Nirman, of course. And let us know more, from DSN Murthy Garu, the role of Dhanush. And over to you, Murthy Garu. We can't hear you, Andy.
Is it audible now?
Yeah, it is audible. Please go.
Yeah. Dhanyavad. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful hearing about the session from Neena ji. It was really enlightening, the amount of research she has done over the years, and then brought a lot of light on Ram. And it has been also a pleasure for us to be part of an Abhiyan where it has taken the construction of Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir Nirman, which has been the dream of billions of hearts of our country over the last 500 plus years, which has becoming a reality in the short while. And as part of that, we in the last few months, earlier this year, have conducted a wonderful massive Abhiyan to go through the billions hearts through few millions of hands in creating an awareness and also the fundraising to construct the Ram temple. This is one thing which I hope you are able to see my presentation. So the background of is it visible?
Very small it is.
Many
settings need to be done.
Just need to increase the. Yes. See, the overall thought of this particular Abhiyan, which is conducted from mid of January to end of February earlier this year, was to really bring in the entire population to the Nirman of Ram Janmabhoomi, so that everybody is part of the construction and being able to contribute for the Nirman of the this Ram Janmabhoomi, which has happened to be in our generation. So it is fortunate that everybody could able to contribute and witness this temple construction, which has been fought over the years, and could able to realize soon in making this temple. So as part of that, a massive Abhiyan being conducted earlier this year, where we were collecting 10 rupees, 100 rupees, 1000 rupees, or any other denomination as part of this Abhiyan. And it has a different structure where we have a national level, and it is being divided into 48 different prants, and each prant is being divided into 1167 jillas, and each jilla has its own khand or blocks. Over 38,000 plus blocks are the khand level being divided, which is called as depositors, and each depositor has 5 to 6 collectors, which are the tollies, which goes and then collects the donations and then make an awareness to every individual in the rural areas. So this is a massive scale of this particular Abhiyan, which has happened only in a span of 42 to 45 days. And just to give you the magnitude of this Abhiyan, as I mentioned, 48 different plants which are across the country, with 1167 jillas which are covered, with 38,000 depositors which are the block level, and over a lakh of collectors which are associated with 8 lakh volunteers which are being part of this Abhiyan, to going door to door and then getting the Nidhi Samarpan from each of the individuals with the denominations as minimum as 10 rupees, to people who are wealthier has given few crores of rupees as well. But it is an important exercise which has reached out over 10 crore families in the country, and over 40 crore people it has been able to connect through this Abhiyan. And through this process, we have brought in 3 nationalized banks: the State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, and Bank of Baroda. The largest 3 national banks are being brought under this Abhiyan, with 42,000 branches spread across the country are being integrated through this Abhiyan. And on an average, we were collecting around 100 crores with a very, very small denomination to the highest denominations from each of those individuals, and then brought under a same umbrella. Over 20 crore coupons in the denominations of tens, hundreds, and thousands are being printed and distributed all across the country. And more than 50 trainers in this entire Abhiyan. We brought an application which is system, which could able to reach out to every collectors and the depositors who are operating on the ground, along with the entire administration of monitoring the collection activities and linking with the banks, where all the banks, their daily collections are being transferred through our system, and complete controls, audits, traces, and reporting, all of them being very effectively managed. And continuously in parallel, we were conducting over 100 odd sessions through Samvad, what we are using it as of now. It is completely a homegrown, Indian made. Dhanush is proud of being the origin of this product, and supported such initiatives like Ramjan Bhumi using this tool. And over 15 plus auditors were operating centrally to ensure that every rupee we get it, and it is being coming into our books, is being properly audited, accounted, and the audit reports of all the prants and jillas are being properly signed off by the auditors. So this is the magnitude of this particular Abhiyan, which is being captured under a system which we have developed. And just to give you the perspective, when we have shared this Abhiyan's application in the system, the National Informatics Center, the NIC, which is the key holding body of the entire systems in the country, were amazed and then given a message that these systems are much better than what we have done it in terms of the vastness and the reach and the ability to implement on the ground to the poorest level. Was the real appreciation we got it at the highest technological authority like NIC. One of the very important things which generally doesn't happen in the Sangha Parivar with Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh and Vishwa Hindu Parishad and Ramjan Bhumi Tidda Kshetra, with all the people, right from Bhayaji to Krishna Gopal ji and Champat Rai ji, Alok ji and Vinayak Rao ji, who represents the various Sangha affiliated associations and the Sangha itself, are being able to really appreciate the contribution we as Dhanush made as part of making this Abhiyan a grand success, and reached out to every part of the country and able to really bring in the control elements wherein no controversies and no pinpointing of their ability to run such a massive Abhiyan, through which we could able to collect more than 3,500 crores in a very, very short span of time. And with a brief Rama Janmabhoomi Tirthakshetra has represented about 9 lakh karyakartas in 1,75 teams, contacted people from door to door, and Samarpan amount was deposited in banks through 38,125 karyakartas. And the app created by Dhanush Infotech has acted as a digital bridge among the karyakartas, banks, and the trust. This is an official reporting by the Sri Ramachandra Tirthakshetra in the Twitter on appreciating our contribution. So it is now what we are getting into is to see that this massive Abhiyan, which has really connected billions of hearts through this wonderful construction of Ram Temple, we wanted to really create certain case studies which can reach out to the management colleges and also the students of the next generation, and can able to learn what and how this country can unite under the name of Lord Ram, and can able to teach us to bring in unity, and also can able to bring some of the activities of this magnitude can be done so successfully, which I doubt anybody in the world could able to and were able to manage such activities. So we are expected to get few case studies published by the IIMs. We have already collated 8 IIMs as part of this Abhiyan, and we expect few case studies to get published in the HPR and other IIM. We expect later this year those publishing also to happen. And this is the brief of what is our contribution, and also what we could able to do as part of this Abhiyan, which is something it's a fortunate to have as an opportunity to really contribute to this Abhiyan. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Murthy Garu. It indeed, we were having a little knowledge on what exactly is happening, but really you've run through everything, very clearly. So, we have more knowledge now to share with everyone, how exactly it goes on. Thank you so much. And next, we will be moving on to, external relevance of Ayodhya city by Dr. Ananta Lakshmi Garu. And before she takes us through that, and let me introduce her. Dr. Ananta Lakshmi Garu is Adhyatmikavetta, author, Vakta, and associate professor, and she has presented 6 papers in national seminars, and 30 research papers have been published, and she has received many awards like Dharmika Prachara Shiromani, Bharatiya Prajna Narimani, and Pravachna Kokila, and Durgavai Deshmukh Award, and many more awards to her she has received. And she has given numerous religious discourses on different dayas, like Shankar Mat and TTD, and in A Doordarshan, other channels, you name a channel and she's there, I can say, because when you look at Telugu people, all are Telugu devotees, or the people always follow her, and because she always gives us the reality, to the current trends. So we always follow her. So to name few, Bhakti TV, SV, Bhakti TV, HMTV, Z, the ETV, NTV, so many more actually. And she was live commentary to Bhadrachalam Sitarama Kalyanam and Venkatesh Swami Brahmocham as well. So, Amma, over to you.
First of all, my namaskarams to everyone, especially to Professor Murthy Garu, DSN Murthy Garu, and a devotee of Rama who wanted to introduce Rama and Ayodhya to the younger generation and to the world, Miss Neena, right? And the coordinator, Praveena Tota, and all the eminent people here. My humble request is, my mother tongue is Telugu. I am a professor in Telugu. If at all there is any mistake in my English, please overlook. Look into this subject. That's all. That's my request. And I heard Miss Reena Roy talking about Ayodhya. And as she took the Valmiki Ramayana as the basis, there is nothing to contradict or comment on it. But one or two things I can compliment. Not only to the subject, to her also. The work she did and her efforts to learn Sanskritam. Actually, you have to say Sanskritam. The Sanskritam, and going deep into the meaning of every word. Sanskritam gives us the root of every word and the philosophy and the meaning behind it, within it. That is Mano, Manavendrena, and how detailed she went. So I can understand very deeply she studied. And this is all in the 5th chapter, I think, Sarga of Balakanda. And he starts giving, this is constructed by Manu, and from that it is coming as a heritage to the kings of Surya Vamsha. And she said, how many years old it is, I don't know, but it is given very clearly, not in Ramayana. In other Puranas it is given. The Ramayana which we are reading as Valmiki Ramayana now, whatever, Tapaswadhyaya Niratam, it starts like that. So that Ramayana Grandhastam, I think she understands, recorded by Valmiki was in 24th Mahayuga. Now we are going in 28th Mahayuga. So this story goes back to more than 1 crore and 81 lakhs and 44,000, more than that many years back. This is what happened. All the descriptions given in Valmiki Ramayana, we may not see in Ayodhya now, because there is a change in the environment. There are continental drifts, land erosions, everything. We are seeing in our own lifetime, we are seeing some of these, the Kedarnath incident and all, that tsunami, and so many islands popping up, and some of the coastal areas drowning, and this is what happened. But the topography and of the land which Rama or Kosala Desha ruled was given in Sundarakanda. While Sugriva was sending all the people to search for Sita, he gives all the details of that. You go this east, such and such land is there. You go to that path, then you stop. And he gives the description of the people, description of the nature there, and he mentions about all the directions. He mentions about the Red Sea, Black Sea, and yellow race, black race, red race, people with small ring hair, and everything. Flat faces, square faces, everything. So that means everything in those days, whatever the description is there, it was concerned to those days. But the basic thing doesn't change. If we are renovating a house, the foundation will be there, but you may change inside, and so you may change one door into a window, window into a door, but the foundation will be there. Like that, everything is there. And one more thing, all this comes under the rule of Ayodhya kings. All these are all Samantas, they say. That's why whatever Rama did to Vali or Sugriva, they just kept quiet because he is the king, they have to follow. So all these things are there. But one thing I want to mention, I hope Miss Reena might have mentioned it, but we have to mention it. It should go to the youth that in those days itself, Indians know how to live comfortably. They excelled, the Indian genius excelled in all the fields that makes human life very comfortable physically and very happy mentally and blissful spiritually. Three aspects. Why I'm mentioning is, and the same type of architectural skills were described while describing Lanka. But that this comfort is not there. Physical comfort is there. Like in Ayodhya, they have buildings with 7 stories, 8 folds, and they have chandrashalas. That is, chandrashala means penthouses. Open, you can enjoy in the night moon rays and all. And the roofs, different types of roofs, that is Vimana, Shikhara. That shape of the roof, the names were given for the shape of the, if it is like this, all the 4 types coming as a point, that is Shikhara. And if it is like a folded book and like a straight line, it is one is Shikhara and one is Vimana. Like that, every bit was given, but the tension was there in Lanka. They don't know. Everything they are enjoying, but with so much of tension, not ease. That ease and comfort, along with the physical comfort, that mental ease is there in Ayodhya. So we have to tell our student, our youth, India was good. Don't limit there. Is good, will be good. That is in your hands. It is in the hands of the youth. So they must know how we excelled in those days, and we have to get it from there. These architectural skills, we wonder how many skills, maybe 100 years back when we read, we think that it is impossible. Now we are able to understand that is possible, as she mentioned about the phones and all. So much of advanced technology is there. And about the Ayodhya also, as Professor Murthy Garu mentioned about Saptaita, Mokshadayaka, he mentioned about 7 great cities. Among them, Ayodhya is the first. Second one is Mathura. When the Ghazni Muhammad came and he took more than 200 architects from India to construct a city like Mathura there. He says that one has to spend 200 years to construct a city like Mathura. Of course, in those days, with those limitations. Like that, every city, wherever there is a spiritual magnetic center, there our people started living so that they can absorb it, and they can absorb and they can just discharge it to the people who have less of it. So among them, Ayodhya comes first, and it is so beautifully given how the roads are, how the roadside footpaths are, how the roads were sprinkled with water so that dust will not rise and it will be comfortable, and how the plants also, not plants, they are trees, but how they plant those trees throughout the year, flowers will be there. So one plant they planted is which flowers in blossoms in winter, Another one is which blossoms in summer, another one which blossoms in the rainy season. So alternately they planted so many trees, so that throughout the year, when a person walks on the streets, they feel the fragrance and all, no dust, everything. And about the fortification and all, she correctly told. About other things also, Satagni she mentioned here. That is, the Gna means to beat and to break. Satagni, which can break 100. That is correct meaning she has given. And the other, these are only Shastras. About the Astras, you learn when Vishwamitra gave to Rama. All the Shastras, whatever the missiles and atomic, all those things, whatever we have, there is Nag and Akash and all are there, no? Almost the same quality Shastras are there in which were given to Rama. And these are all, some of them we have to still investigate and research, and we have to make up. But some are already have come. The Nag-like things have come, no? Prithvi, Nag, Akash, those missiles have come. Others have also come, have to come. I think defense personals should, the researchers, of course, already DRDR is doing all those things. And such things when we read, people like us, we can't do it. At this age, I can't go and fight. I can send my daughter to the army, but I can't go, no, myself. At this age, I can't go. And I can't start reading and doing research on these things. But we can advise the people who are doing the research. Such things are there. I think Ms. Reena Roy will take up another venture comparing Lanka and Ayodhya, the architectural skills and the difference in the comfort and the happiness and the bliss they are having. How can they have? And it's when I was telling this about Ayodhya plan and everything, somebody asked me, "Are you an engineer?" No, ma, I'm not an engineer. I'm not an architect. I don't know any Vastu at all. I don't know. But the thing is, it's all given by Valmiki, sage Valmiki, who is a drashta, that is, who is a seer. He can see. He is none other than Mahavishnu's incarnation, Apantaratama, he was given. And now it is 24, Apantaratama's 24th incarnation is Valmiki, 28th incarnation is Krishna Dvaipayana, that whom we call as Vyasa. So that all came from divine wisdom, divine knowledge. They had all these things. So I hope all the sciences are there. You see, astrology is there, astronomy is there, and about the dreams, Freud has to come and learn from Valmiki about the dreams and all. Every science mention the name of a science. The seeds are there in Valmiki Ramayana, and sometimes they are not only seeds, they have grown up and spread very much. You can see. I think I crossed my time. You did a very good job. I congratulate you, Ms. Reena Roy, and I hope you continue this, and you will educate the youth. Youth will follow you than us, because we belong to their generation. So do it, continue it. Best of luck. And I thank everyone for giving me an opportunity to talk these things. And I always feel happy to talk about Ramayana. Any number of times, any number of hours, and I feel happy. I enjoy it. I enjoyed this. Thank you, one and all. Especially
Thank you so much, Amma.
Garu and
Yeah.
everybody.
Thank you so much, Amma. It's like, you beautifully explained it, like, yeah, resort with Neena Rai, and, it it was, and my experience is Ananta Lakshmi Garu is a core member of Shashakti Bharat, and I've been listening to her. She takes Rama Vakyanam. She takes us through, I've been attending the past 2 months, I guess. So every day, we imagine a word of how what beautiful cities, what kind of things will go on. So she always Neena to tell you, and she always mentions the connecting to the youth. How we can connect to the youth. That's what she focuses on, explains about it. So thank you so much, Rama. So the overall, before we go ahead, I would like to say Major General Dr. S.S. Dasaka Garu is a core person who has been driving everything, and so I would request him to give the concluding remarks and vote of thanks. And before I go ahead and request him, I would like to mention a brief about him. And Major General Dr. S.S. Dasaka Garu is
I forgot to thank Dr. Dasaka Garu. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's been driving beautifully, seriously, and being a back end. So he is in the Corps of Engineers of the Indian Army for 35 years. After retirement from the Army in 2011, he has been in the education sector as director of Sikkim Manipal Institute of Technology at Gangkok and vice chancellor of private universities and CEO of 2 educational groups in Hyderabad. And he was awarded Seva Medal and Vasishtha Seva Medal of the President of India. And over to you, Sir Sarji. Hope you are there.
Thank you, Praveenaji. Thank you for the nice words. Namaste to everyone. I hope you all can listen to me.
Sir, we cannot see you, Sarji.
No, it says the webcam is blocked.
Oh, okay.
Webcam sharing is blocked.
Now,
yeah, I think now
we can.
Yeah, it's fine now. It's fine. Namaste to everyone. Should I get logged out in between? Don't worry, I'll come back in a few seconds thereafter.
Sarji, we missed again.
He just logged out. I think he's
joining in again.
Yeah, sorry, there are some technical issues at my end. Firstly, I would like to thank and congratulate Miss Neena Roy for a beautifully written book. Especially, she is from the Army fraternity, so we all take great pride that the Army brats are really doing well. It is a very well researched book.
He would be joining in again, maybe bits and pieces, but there's some technical issue.
Sorry once again. Am I audible, please?
Yes, Sarji, please go ahead.
Yeah. As I said, it is a very well-researched book. The range and the depth of issues what she has covered. And in fact, we have come to know many of the unknowns. So far, we are not knowing that Ayodhya was in fact a city which was planned much earlier than Lord Rama. That we are not aware. I'm sure many of us may not be aware of this because we always synchronize the city with the Lord. But as she said, it was there for centuries before that. And this beautiful book, I'm sure, will definitely influence the youth. We are also thankful to her for taking on the questions and answers. Very excellently given questions and answers. The topics were covered. Now, one or two things I thought I'll just share. There is a famous saying where we say that show me a man and his desk. I'll tell you what sort of man he is. If the desk is orderly, it means the man is orderly. If you extend the same analogy, you can say show me a king and his capital. I'll tell you what type of king he is. If the city is very orderly, very well designed and properly defended, it means the same thing percolates down to the entire kingdom. To that extent, I would like to say that seeing her talk and then reading the book, I have read most of it, but not fully. We are really surprised at the detail that have been gone into, right from the planning stage, the design stage, the architectural stage, and the self-defense of the whole city itself. This is really amazing to know that there were many more things what we were not aware of so far. So we are all wiser by going through this book and listening to your talk. Without taking too much of time, I would like to thank Miss Neena Roy once again for taking time and then sharing her book review with us and spending time with us. I would also like to thank our Guru Garu, Sri Murthy Garu, for his introductory remarks. Then Dhanush DSN Murthy Garu for giving us not only the exposure from billion hands to million hands, and then also about the contribution of the software. Then Dr. Ananta Lakshmi for bringing out certain issues and also telling that yes, the youth today need to know much more. And as she rightly said, that through the youth like Miss Neena Roy, they will be able to understand better than when it is told from people like us. Because the gap between you and them is much less than the gap between them and us. So that is a very apt remark by her. And of course, the participants who have been here for the last almost 2 hours, we are also thankful to all of them. And finally, the host, Mrs. Praveena, she has been at it for quite some time, along with Murthy Garu. I would like to thank all of you. And I'm sure in future, maybe Ms. Neena Roy may like to move from one book to another book. Since you have mastered this so much, maybe Ayodhya 2 or maybe some part of Ramayana, we would like to see more books through your hands. And I would like to wish you all the very best. On my behalf and on behalf of Sashakti Yuva Bharat, we would like to thank you and wish you all the very best in your long journey ahead. Thank you all. Jai Hind. Namaskar.
Neena ji, we are not able to hear you.
Yeah.
Lost your voice.
Yeah. No. You're trying mic? No. We can't hear you, Neena. No.
No. No.
No, Neena, it is not. Maybe you would like to re-log in, or you would like to re-log in? Yeah. Thank you so much. And Guru Garu, we cannot see and read. Video on change.